Hello and welcome back to the Best Medieval MOCs of the Month, the show where we take a look at the best medieval MOCs made by you. If you want to enter your MOC to be in the next video, please stay tuned for more information at the end of the video. First up, we have the Munin Inn by BrickingtonKingdom. This is a lovely little building with stained glass windows, a great brick-built sign inspired by that old medieval market set, and it's even got an interior with a checkered floor that matches the Raven Knight color scheme. I really love how this MOC looks, and it would make for a great companion to the medieval town square. It's very clearly inspired by that set's design, but it still has its own ideas as well, which I really like. Please go check out BrickingtonKingdom on Instagram, they've got a ton of terrific MOCs on their page. Next up, we've got a Tanic Castle by Brickinger. Brickinger is well known for his massive, realistic castles, and this one is a perfect example of that. It's not based on any one castle in particular, but you can still see the influence of real-world castles in Poland, especially this castle right here. Again, the scale of this is frankly obscene, and the fact that it still looks properly detailed even though Brickinger's style is pretty reserved is super impressive. If you're a medieval history nerd, then I would highly recommend you go check out his stuff on Instagram. He puts in an insane amount of passion into his builds, and I'm sure you'll like his other stuff. Okay, so next up, we've got a couple of really cool interior scenes. Both of these MOCs are depicting the Black Castle from House of the Dragon. Pulp Bricktion came up with this really convincing design for the painted table, showing it in that lit up scene from season 1 with all of the candles. It's seriously such a cool MOC, but I have to admit that Martin Studios' version of the Black Council is just straight up gorgeous looking. It's a perfect LEGO version of what we see in the show, and all of the background details just look fantastic. The fireplace really sells it for me, and it looks really close to what we see in the show. And of course, his photography and the lighting in these photos is just superb. Please go check out both of them, links below. They are both seriously talented builders with a ton of great work to look through. Okay, and next we've got a really unique idea by Cubettaro. It's a modular Italian village that can be rotated and manipulated in a ton of different ways. The idea of this set is incredibly novel, and while it's not my favorite in terms of detailing, the concept itself is just super strong, so I wanted to feature it today. Apparently it's able to be displayed in over 100 different ways, and he shows off a bunch of them on his LEGO Ideas page. I would recommend you all go check it out on LEGO Ideas and read through the description, as it gives a much better explanation than I can give you in this short showcase. Links to his pages will be in the description below. Next, we've got a Wizard's Study by Zanderfus. I've said it 100 times before, but sometimes simplicity is really the best way to go with LEGO. This MOC uses a bunch of really simple techniques made with common parts to achieve a beautifully detailed office space. It's got a lot of stuff packed into a small space, but it doesn't look messy whatsoever. The desk and shelves on either side of the build look great, and they're staged really nicely with all of the knickknacks scattered around. He's also made good use of printed and stickered pieces without overdoing it. And in my opinion, the real triumph of this MOC is the angled shape of it. You can tell that the interior is meant to be in the top of some wizard's tower, and the balcony in the back of the build really drives that home. I love how this MOC looks, and I can't wait to see more MOCs from Zanderfus in the future. Next up, we've got a Lion Knight's Boat by Flags for Bricks. This model is actually an alternate build for the 3-in-1 pirate ship. This really surprised me, as it does not look like an alt build at all. A lot of the times with rebrickable models, they can look a little like cobbled together, if you know what I mean, but this one doesn't at all. The custom sails definitely help in making it look more official, I guess, but this boat is just really impressive looking for it being limited by the parts of that set. The MOC also pays homage to the Sea Serpent set in its overall shape and design, but it's much larger and feels like a modern version of that classic set. The Golden Grail ship would make for a really cool display next to the Lion Knight's castle, and if you've got one of those 3-in-1 pirate ships laying around, I think this is a great rebrickable model to try out. I'll leave a link in the description where you can purchase the instructions to this set. Okay, and next up we've got a Castle Siege by Brickphantom. Now, while the pictures of this aren't the best quality, I still really adore the build. The blown up bit in the middle of the castle's wall looks sick, and the bricks flying out of the wall are done in a really neat way that reminds me a lot of an old castle by Kubrick. Also, the suggestions of clouds near the top of the tower is a really cool stylistic choice that I don't think I've seen done before. I feel like he should really continue with this style because it has a ton of potential in my opinion. Anyways, thank you so much for entering, and keep up with the great work. And next up, we've got a really cool mock called Pigs and Potions by Sevendeadleystreamers. I always love a fantastical potion shop, and this one is super unique. The shop is named Pigs and Potions, and I absolutely love their branding on the outside of the shop. You've got a custom designed sign on the corner and a brick-built pig face above the door. That and the crazy color scheme of this mock really just helps it stand out. The mock is just jam-packed with detail, and the interior space looks lovely. Again, the color scheme here is really magical, and it just fits the vibe of the rest of the set. This mock was actually in the Bricklink Designer Series 5 vote, which is currently still in the selection phase right now. So it will be really cool to see if this one goes the distance. And next up, we've got a Forestman Outpost by Ferks and Bricks. My favorite part about this mock is easily that central main tower. It really stands out from the rest of the mock, and the roof on the top of it just looks really nice. Also, the minifigure staging and the general posing of this mock was clearly well thought out, and it helps make the mock just feel more realistic to me. I really love this shot in particular, with an archer inside the castle peering around the corner to look at this rogue assassin character. Great stuff, and the outdoor photography gave these shots some really pretty lighting. Please go check out Ferks' page on Instagram. They've got a ton of great stuff on there, and are actually posting progress pics of their new mock right now. Next up, we've got a Snowy Castle by Tanner. I'm a bit of a sucker for snowy terrain and castles, so this one was right up my alley. I love that terrain work that they've done at the base of the castle, and the river also looks really great. Then the actual castle itself also just looks fantastic. I'm a big fan of having Tudor buildings attached to castles, and this one does it really well. Though maybe a different color than white would have been nice to kind of break up the snowy look of it all. My head jumps to light blue to go with the black wood, but I don't know. Another thing that I love about this mock is the design of the tower's roof. The upside down bucket at the top of the roof was a really clever parts usage, and I don't think I've seen anyone do that before. Overall, I love this castle a ton, and I think the only thing that I would change about it would be to clean up the walls greebling just a little bit. But other than that, it looks fantastic. And finally, we have the Green Dragon by Alexander. I was blown away when this popped up in my inbox, to be honest with you. As some of you may know, one of my White Whale LEGO Castle sets is the Troll Warship, and in that set there was an armored green dragon. That one was pre-molded, but honestly, this brick-built one is just way, way better. The sculpt on the head of the dragon was just beautifully done, and I love how they incorporated the gray and silver parts to illustrate the armor that it's wearing. Also, the general shaping and detailing of the dragon's body is just super impressive looking, and you can tell that this is not the first dragon that they've made. I am a huge fan of this mock if you can't tell, and I would absolutely love to see him put out some instructions on Rebrickable to buy. This is basically the perfect little dragon display piece, and I think it would be really popular on there. Anyways, Alex, if you see this video, please let me know where we can find more of your work, because this is seriously such a good model and I want to see more. While some honorable mentions go by on screen, I want to mention how you can enter your mock to be in next month's video. All you have to do to enter your mock is send an email to this address and attach the pictures of your mock. Please try and take the best possible pictures and attach them to the email itself. This just helps retain image clarity and makes for a better viewing experience. Also, a little note, only send me one email per mock, as I had a couple of people spam my inbox with the same mock over and over again. I unfortunately just don't have enough time to reply to every single one, but I wholeheartedly appreciate everyone who entered last month. I got a record number of submissions, which was really cool to see. Keep it up with the awesome mocks, and I hope to see all of the cool stuff that you guys make next month. And as always, thank you so much for watching.